Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and there are increasing signs that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, faces a bruising defeat against the San Francisco-based enterprise blockchain innovator, Ripple Labs. It's written by Dr. Roslyn Layton, and she's calling it the cryptocurrency trial of the century. The verdict could drastically limit the SEC's authority to regulate crypto because Ripple has decided to fight back, as did tens of thousands of retail users of XRP. They are the co-victims of this government behavior. The article on Forbes is titled "Crypto Law Experts Suggest SEC Likely to Lose Key Case and Discredit the Howey Test." Early in the litigation, the SEC got lost in a maze of its own making. So many thought that we'd never see the Hinman emails, but I never said that. The SEC just is going to go down in a blaze because they are too much wrapped up in their unbridled egos that has lost touch, in my opinion, with the whole purpose of why they exist, which is to protect investors. The George Mason University School of Law, J.W. Verrett, agrees that Ripple is on track to win this case. And if we come down to the bottom of the article, I want to read for you the final paragraph. So why is Gensler still letting his enforcement division drive this bus off the cliff? They are litigators, but Gensler is ultimately a political figure. Politicians, Deaton said recently in an interview, are all about turning a loss somehow into a win and moving on. Ripple's general counsel, Stu Alderati, has made it clear that they will settle in a minute and pay a fine if the SEC will make it clear that today's XRP is not a security. Having expended his total capital, Gensler should take the deal. And talking about Stu Alderati, there is the Singapore Fintech Festival 2022, which is going to have a spotlight on payments, and it starts on November 2nd, runs through the 4th. And he will be there as one of the speakers. In fact, James Wallace and Brooks Entwistle from Ripple will also be there. There's a couple of people from SBI, but I'll tell you, the lineup of speakers is unreal. We've got CZ of Binance. There are R3 representatives, Signum Bank, which SBI made a big investment into. They also trade XRP to the institutional investors. There's DBS. They do the same. They use XRP in their trading platform for the institutional investor. Swift will be there. The IMF, World Bank, D-Money, big Ripple partner. Partior, which is a JP Morgan cross-border payment solution. PayPal, BIS, all the big banks. The Ant Group, MAS, which is the, of course, regulator agency in Singapore. Visa, MasterCard, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Mojaloop, which uses ILP, that was brought to us through Ripple with Evan Schwartz and Stefan Thomas. HBAR is there. Neum, a huge RippleNet user. Sumitomo Bank, which is the third largest bank in Japan. They also have a stake in a lot of SBI companies, including MoneyTap, which is the mobile app that runs on RippleNet. Onyx, which is part of JP Morgan's coin that does cross-border remittances, will be there. Vitalik will be there. I haven't seen this kind of lineup for a very long time. It shows you how this space has matured, and it does also show you how this space is totally being captured by the largest financial institutions in the world. If you're not on Twitter a lot or following David Schwartz, you may not know he is able to just sever someone's existence, stopping them in their tracks in the most, impressive way. This is where he does it with just facts. Just facts. That's it. Some guy who randomly tweeted that XRP price is a disgrace, and David replied back, well, maybe if you cherry pick timeframes, but it seems to me that it's almost does the same things every other cryptocurrency does. If you look back in January 2022, Bitcoin was 47,000, Ethereum was 3,700, and XRP was 85 cents. Today, BTC is 20,000, Ethereum 1,600, and XRP is 47 cents. So year to date, BTC is down 56%, Ethereum is down 57%, and XRP is down 45%. And the case in point is why a lot of people say that cost averaging in is a way to maneuver in this space. And also, if you're a swing trader, there have been plenty of opportunities to make money on all three of those digital assets over the course of the last 12 to 24 months. But I know not everybody is swing trading. However, XRP for me on a swing trade, few times over the course of a few years, has done quite well. And the person that David responded to on Twitter has this Bitcoin address listed in his description of his Twitter profile. I checked it out, and it has had total of 0 received in Bitcoin, 0 sent, and a final balance of, you got it, 0. As I promised yesterday, I would tell you my thoughts on why I think the ISO 20022 is going to be further delayed. You see, banks have until 2025 when the current messaging format that they use with SWIFT is going to be switched off. And migrating will impact these billions of payments worldwide. Many of the banks requiring to make these migrations have more than 30 to do with each central bank that they connect to, impacting their whole architecture from the core system to the customer-facing systems. And the recent delay that occurred is going to impact the migrations that were planned for 2023. Due to this very tight timeline, and because it was changed, there is a higher risk now of delay, and it really is something to be expected in the later phases. I'm doing a lot of reading, and I'm seeing this over and over and over again. To reduce risk, many of the banks are realizing that they must decouple their payment engines at the time of the ISO 20022 implementation. And many are just requesting for more non-functional testing. They want simulation testing, they want stress testing, and they want some buddy bank testing. So there's just a whole lot of banks not ready. And let me show you who has migrated and who hasn't. Turning on the ISO 20022 switch. This is a map that is interactive. Let me just show you the date here. This has been updated as of the 7th of October. And you can see that the migration map is mapped out by color. In yellow, we've got those countries that are going to be live with ISO by 2022. You can see that's China, Colombia, India, Japan, and Switzerland. And then if we go to a country, for example, in the dark gray, Belarus, Belize, Brazil, Egypt, Mexico, Guatemala, Myanmar, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Korea, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, and Vietnam. That is planned for 2024. And the United States, which is going to wait all the way out until 2025. And then who else are we missing here? Let's see. Migrations to be determined. I think, what is that? That is Angola, Australia, Austria, Botswana, Canada, and so on. I don't want to read all those countries, but you can see it goes all the way down to the Z's of Zimbabwe. France is in there, Greece is in there, Italy, Ireland, Iceland, Denmark. Yeah, so this is still to be determined. And then you have plans no plans to migrate at all. Look at the list. So these countries have no plans at all to adopt the new messaging format. I can't believe that some of these will continue to stay on the list. I mean, Yemen, maybe, Venezuela, Uzbekistan, possibly, but Norway is on this list. I think that's surprising. So I'm not sure. Maybe they're just not updating the world on their. Even Israel is on this one, but some of the countries like Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Laos. Well, I'm surprised. I mean, they are still showing up as no plans to migrate. Maybe they just haven't set the plans out yet. I don't think that means they're not going to. I think what it really means is that they just don't have their act together yet. So this is a big deal. And because of this delay that just occurred in the last couple of days, it is kind of a domino effect, which is going to impact then those that were going to migrate in 2023, because this is a step-by-step process, and you can't test fully if you don't have test buddies around. So anyway, that is this is what I am thinking based on looking at the rollout, looking at the dates, reading a lot. I've been on a lot of different sites, mostly those sites that are supporting the banks in their migration. So yeah, I expect further delays. And tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit about this BIS Innovation Hub. This is the M Bridge, and they were piloting on a protocol which is called Hot Stuff. It is the same protocol that Facebook Libra Diem was going to use. And if we come down here to look at how they were actually doing the finality for their settlement, you can see that it was achieved through a specifically developed legal agreement between each central bank and its respective commercial banks. Not so seamless as you might think. And I know that to participate in a private blockchain with legal agreements, well, think about that. Think about a couple hundred countries being able to agree on doing that. I don't know. It's a big reach. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff, and what you're looking at is a village in the Gifu prefecture of Japan. It's an UNESCO World Heritage Site. It consists of 3 mountain villages in all, about 68 hectares or 170 acres in size, and it is located in a very remote river valley. And they have these Gashozukuri buildings with very steep roofs that easily shed the heavy snow. These farmhouses were barely known prior to the 1950s because they are so remote. The thatched roofs are quite special, being replaced every 30 to 40 years by the people who live in the village. It takes 200 to 300 workers, and they get it done in 2 days. That is what you would say takes a village. With all the households, there's less than 1,000 people, and the buildings that were mostly constructed during the 1800s, about 150 are left. The oldest known home is from the 1600s. Yesterday was their big day to test their fire hydrants. These are installed for the purpose of in case of fire. And I've got a video that will take you out to show you this annual test. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye. And stay to the end of the video. There's a little bit of a Halloween surprise.